Welcome back to Walk-Ins Welcome. We help medical practices just like yours triple their revenue through digital marketing services and exceptional patient experience. I'm Nick Horde, got Michael Ray with me as always, and we are excited to talk video today.
Yeah, we are. And just to kind of kick things off too, if you are listening, this won't mean a whole lot to you, but I'm wearing a shirt right now that says Nick the Marketer on it, and I'm doing it for a reason. So if you're on YouTube, you can see this, but so Nick the Marketer is actually the parent company of Urgent Care Marketing Pros. So Nick, if you could think, Nick the Marketer covers lots and lots of industries, and then Urgent Care Marketing Pros is like a siloed version of that.
Right.
So if you guys are like, hey, I don't have a medical practice, but I have a home service or anything in the world of services, we could probably help you.
At the end of the day, we love helping small businesses grow their business. That's our goal. That's our mission. Even our core values wrap around that. And the reason, like Nick the Marketer is much bigger than Urgent Care Marketing Pros. And what that kind of spun off of is we just kind of fell in love with the urgent care and medical space. We not only got really good at marketing and advertising that space, but like we realized the positive impact it was making on the local communities, and it really felt like we were doing a good service to our community.
And we'll just be honest, we kind of like the medical people.
Yeah,
they're pretty good clients.
They're reasonable.
They get busy. We take care of them. They listen.
That's right.
So let's just be honest, we just like them a lot. But anyway, so let's talk about today, and it boils down to why aren't you using video? Now, video is honestly, it's been around for a long time. I think the iPhone was the initial kick. You can now have video from a phone. It actually looks okay. Right. And nowadays with like the iPhone 13 Pro, whatever it's Pro Max Pro.
Man, anyway, come on. It's like Pro Max Mini.
Anyway, it literally has better capabilities than like my DSLR does from a video standpoint. So if you have a brand new iPhone that you picked up from like AT&T the other day, you're holding basically something that can make a movie. Like, it's incredible.
So what's funny about that, Michael, is right now, just to give you a sneak peek behind the scenes, if you're watching us on YouTube, we're shooting on an iPhone 11.
Yeah.
So, and a microphone. Like, we're using a Yeti microphone and an iPhone 11. We're shooting in 4K.
There you go. And so, but right, we didn't have to go out and buy $1,000 camera.
That's right.
We had a $500 phone that uses for everything else, and now I can do some video for us. All that to be said, today we're going to talk about you can do video. It just needs a little bit of structure and a little bit of confidence, and so, we're going to go through that.
Michael, why are they not using video? Like, what's the first reason they're not using video?
Tons of reasons, but we're going to go over 4 main ones today. But the first one we're going to bring up today is time.
I feel that.
So we're busy, right? We don't have time for any of this. We're likely to even do what we're supposed to do for our customers because there's so much going on. How do I have time to do video? I don't have, because a lot of people will think, because I've heard this conversation before, hey, it's going to take me hours or days to make a video because I don't know what I'm doing. I got to edit a thing that's more time, and then I'm probably not going to be happy with it. So that's the challenge number one. And challenge number two, well, I don't have time. I can just hire it, but I don't want to spend $5,000 on a good video. So we're here to tell you there are ways to make it faster, and it doesn't take near as long as you think it does. You can build a year's worth of videos in a day if you wanted to.
So time is the number one reason our clients tell us that they don't want to do video.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing. If you're a doctor, if you're a dentist, which is still a doctor, if you're a medical doctor, if you're a dentist, if you're a chiropractor, I hope I didn't just offend half of them. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Leave me alone. If you're a massage therapist,
if you have patients,
yeah, and you have to go and physically be present, time can be a real hurdle.
No, yeah.
Okay, but here's what I'm trying to convince you is that take 1 hour a week. Heck, take 1 hour a month. Put it in your calendar, block it, and spend some time shooting some video. It's really not that hard, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But if you're not intentional about blocking off some time to work on your business and not just be practicing medical professional, you're never going to take your business to the next level. Video is where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, so, and talking about this, working on your business, you probably all know this, but if you don't work on your business, it will never advance. Like, it's going to just because you have employees that take care of all those things, but chances are of it moving forward and not backwards or just staying still, none of it will happen like if you're not working on the business itself. And it's important that you work in your business, but as most owners are, over time, they have to work on it, not just in it. And eventually no more in it and just strictly on it.
Right.
So but yeah,
reason number 2,
no plan.
I don't have a plan. I don't even know what I would say if I got in front of a camera. I already don't want to be in front of a camera because it's uncomfortable. But not only am I uncomfortable, I don't know what I'm going to say anyway.
Yep.
So if you don't have a plan, how do you fix that?
Yeah, so
you make a plan.
Yeah, you make a plan, or you go steal a plan from somewhere.
Oh, I know a great place they can steal one from.
Yeah, exactly. So we actually have a content calendar that we're happy to send you guys. So it's a full year's worth of content that you could create. Now it's kind of generic on some stuff, but when it gives you like basically multiple ideas for each week, you don't have to do all of them. You just pick the one like, I can do that. Well, I could probably do that.
Let's cherry pick 3 of them.
Yeah,
go pick one.
Let's talk about why. So for us, for digital, why is SEO important?
Okay,
and let's talk about it. So that's one.
Okay, I'll do number 2. You have a team of people. Michael is our VP of operations, and I could do a whole video on how much I love this guy and how important he is to the success of Nick the Marketer and Urgent Care Marketing Pros. That alone is a video. What's another one?
So we could talk about passions about within the team. So Nick will like this. He got his pilot license the other day. So
he literally yesterday.
Yeah. So yeah, when you listen to this, it won't be yesterday. It'll be a couple of weeks. Right. But just got his pilot license. That's a big deal. And to be honest, when you something like that is so unique, that kind of brings up a lot of talk, right? A lot of conversation. So, but when you talk about passionate things, people can relate to it very quickly. And so that's a really great video topic that it not be a pilots, but any type of passion that you have behind your business, like
guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
Sewing.
I think a great example of talking about guitar. So one of our guys, Devin, when he does some like a virtual meeting or something from his house, he'll have in the background a guitar and whatever, and it's a conversation piece because the guitar people that are on the other side of that call say, "Hey, what kind of guitar is that?" And then also it's like a 10-minute conversation about guitars. So
quick note about that. When this podcast started, you were listening to Devin play his guitar, and he created the intro music for this podcast.
Yep.
One of our team members, and he is outstanding.
So, I mean, right there, like they sound kind of, we talked about service, talked about passion, and what was yours?
People.
So,
yeah, you want to talk about your team, edify your team, talk about how much you appreciate your team.
Mm-hmm. So those 3 things right there could be all sorts of things you could talk about. It's amazing because I always think that radio hosts do an amazing job taking a really boring subject or boring thing that happened to them and making it exciting.
You know who's the master of that?
Is that
Dave Ramsey?
Yeah.
Is there anything cool or fun about finances
or debt?
Debt? Like nothing about that is sexy at all. And for whatever reason, he's managed to build an entire brand around it.
Yeah, exactly. But no, so keep that in mind. Like it can be what seems normal and simple to you is completely new to somebody else. I mean, even in our world, like we could talk SEO, Google Ads, social posting, websites all day long. Because that's all we know it so well. But when we say like, oh, you can update your Google business profile by doing this, it makes a difference. They're like, that's mind blowing.
So quick story as always, right?
Yeah.
So I'm over at the flight school yesterday. You know, we just launched their you launched the website last week, right? And they're like, we're showing up and like, we're getting all these phone calls. I'm a little frustrated about how great you did our website. Now, I'm not trying to brag on us, but I started talking. Oh, it's because of the meta descriptions and the H1 tags, and we indexed you on Google, and they're just looking at me like a cow at a new gate.
Did they really get new stuff? Like,
yeah.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah. Sorry, this is the first time you're hearing about
that. Yeah, I'm going to say this. And that's something to say. Like, we preach this a lot. If your site's old, like 2 or 3 years plus, it's worth doing a redo because Google appreciates that. And especially like with them, they had was it Wix?
That site was 7 years old.
Yeah, it was. You could tell it was old. All the content was on there. Anyway, all the things that improvement just from doing that. We don't even do SEO for them,
right?
And they got improvement off the things we offer.
But the things that I'm excited about is funny because I was like, I'm excited about how these Google tags. That's content. That's content that you can use that you're excited about.
Yeah. All right. So let's take it off 2-track here. So we talked about no plan. What's the next problem that people
Man, Michael, I don't have the equipment for this. Y'all got this TV behind here. You got the lighting up. If y'all saw what we were actually using to do this video, you'd kind of laugh. I've got this weird looking kickstand thing that I ordered off of Amazon that was like $10. I've got my iPhone up here recording us, and I've got this maybe 80, 90, maybe $100 microphone plugged into my computer, and I'm recording on Zoom. Okay, I'm telling you that to set you at ease. This is almost no investment.
Well, and I'll say this.
I already had the TV.
Well, it's funny because I've done like other podcast interviews, and when people come on and they're using like their AirPods, like it sounds pretty good. Like it's not bad. And here's the thing: people don't expect top notch production out of you. They really don't. Like
they expect authenticity.
They expect if you're going to be fake, it better look good. But if you're going to be real, let it be real. Like some of the best videos out there started as very low production value, but people loved it. And then as they grew, they made it better. I mean, just like us, like when we started this podcast, some limitations, and then we've added other things to make it better. It's just because we've learned our lessons with it.
Right.
But I know you're about to bring this up. So if you're watching on YouTube, this guy right here, I don't even know how you pronounce that.
Lowener,
Okay.
I think.
So it's a lapel mic, right?
Let me open it up. I know you can't all see it. Y'all need to go over to the YouTube channel if you haven't, but this is it. It's a lapel mic. This plugs into the bottom of my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little iPhone adapter that plugs into the bottom. It makes it a wireless.
It's a Bluetooth.
It's Bluetooth. It uses my phone. It works outstandingly. As a matter of fact,
we got it set up.
Well, yeah, I had to turn it around because my phone is a little older, probably a little dirty. But once we get this thing set up, I pop that on my lapel. I do videos. I shoot them all. I don't even cut, man. I just start talking and talking and talking and talking. And I'll talk in just a minute about how I'm able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But an iPhone and a good mic and the sunlight.
How much was that mic?
$100.
$100. So
yeah, it's wireless. You can get one that's wired for 20.
If that. And when we say lapel mic, we're talking about the little mic that you see on people's collars, like in big interviews and stuff like that. Like it's nothing fancy.
I'll show it to you.
And people are used to that, right? So you see them all the time, and they kind of fade into the background. So it's
you can put it actually. When I do it, I put it under my shirt.
Yeah,
it's just like
there you go,
like that.
There you go.
You can hardly see it.
Yeah, so super common. Like if you ever watch any video production that's not like super high end, you see typically a little mic just sitting there, especially interviews. Tons of interviews do that.
If you have an iPhone or an Android and a mic of some type, even if you don't, because guess what, your iPhone has one built in too, right? And if you're just putting out content,
mm-hmm.
you have everything in your pocket to successfully put a video out there.
Yeah, and then the next step that we won't have much experience with right now, but it's the, what do you call it, where it holds the camera? So
a gimbal?
A gimbal.
Yeah.
So the next step, if you're like, okay, I'm going to do video where I walk, I couldn't think of the name.
You want to know why I know that?
Why?
Because that's what's inside of an airspeed indicator in an airplane. So dumb. Anyway,
passion.
Right.
Passion. Anyway, so with a gimbal, if you don't know what I'm talking about, so gimbals where that you see a camera mounted and it's floating almost, where it's staying balanced. All it's doing is keeping it flat and balanced as you're moving around. So it's just a stabilizer.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're trying, I want to do a video where I'm walking around talking to people or whatever, you definitely want to look at a gimbal because your iPhone has great stabilization in it, but it's not as good as a gimbal.
None of them are.
Yeah. No, it's all anyway. All that being said, for $100, you can go from just your phone to just your phone and really good sound, and then for another $100 or $200, you can add a gimbal to it, and now you're just like almost hiring a videographer in terms of some equipment that you're using. It's that simple sometimes.
So a bit of call to action here before we go to the next step. Spend $300 with your hundreds of thousands that you're probably making on a monthly basis. I know urgent cares anyway, they range anywhere between about 60,000 to 150,000 a month in revenue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think $300 is going to hurt you, but if it is, call me. I will help you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that being, and the equipment list after that goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
We don't have like pro level information to give you on that, but I can tell you from my own experiences, you can go from what we just talked about. You can add a drone, then you can add like some real high end equipment. So you can go from a couple $100 to tens of thousands if you wanted to, but you don't have to.
Right.
So, all right. So we talked about time. We've talked about no plan. We talked about I don't want to buy equipment. Now let's talk about the real hairy monster, editing. Because editing is kind of the basis of, is this going to look good or not? Because you can really screw up a good video with bad editing.
So we use a software. I want to give credit where credit's due. A guy named Kevin Lee.
He's awesome.
If you go to I'm Kevin Lee on Instagram or anything like that, you're going to be able to hear Kevin Lee. He does a talk just around this software alone.
It's amazing.
And I've kind of fallen in love with it. Like, I love the software.
Yeah,
right?
we're active users. He showed it to us in a
Mind blowing
conference. He was going through videos, stuff like that. He said, let me show you guys this. And the second he shows Descript, which we'll about to talk about, and he moved the video from just text, the whole crowd just went.
And these are, I'm going to throw this into this crowd, but like, these are 7 and 8 figure agencies in a stupid $20 a month software.
And we're all like,
oh my God, what just happened?
The crowd just had this whisper go among, and we're all like, the whole thing just changed at that moment because we didn't know that was real.
Michael, over the summer, this is funny. I keep getting off topic. I'm sorry, but that's what you get when you come to our podcast.
You thought this was going to be a quick.
I did. I don't know if they're going to want to hear from us about this. Anyway, I'm going to have Connor up here working, my 14-year-old son.
Yeah.
My first goal with him outside of working on SEO stuff is getting him in Descript and getting our videos edited. Of course, he's my son, so he's going to make me look like a big dumb hairy animal. I already know it. But that's what you get when you put yourself out there. But Descript, let's talk Descript for a second. This is video. When I talked earlier in this episode about doing one continuous stream of video with ums and ahs and oh God, I screwed up. All these kind of things. Like, I just let the camera roll. It used to be that you would start and stop and start and stop and start and stop. You don't have to do that with Descript because Descript will automatically remove all the uhs and ums. You can literally highlight a sentence because it transcribes your video for you.
That is amazing,
right?
By the way, that to me, that moment, that's the moment we're describing.
Right.
It transcribes it for you, and then instead of such a traditional way of video editing, you're like, let me go into some type of software that's expensive. Let me go in and chop it and then move it down the timeline and move it over. And it takes hours to sit there and re-listen and re-listen and re-listen. Well, this is like, it's all in text. It's just a script, like literally a script. That's what you call Descript. And copy or cut, paste. Like, just like you do in a Word document, and it did it to the video.
That's right.
Instantly. Incredible. And then it gets real weird. I don't know if have you done the deep fake stuff with it?
No, I haven't. But
so it has
where you can change like
what you say. So it has built-in deep fake technology where we're saying that it can literally change what you're saying.
So if you want to be like Tom Cruise or something.
Yeah. So if you really, like you say, it removes stuff. If you, I didn't mean to say $100 and then say 50, you can type in 50 and it will reprogram that.
And deep fake your face.
Yeah. And adjust your mouth.
It's kind of wild for $20 a month.
And and that's the best part. It's on a browser.
Right. You
don't need a super high-end computer to run this thing. That's another thing I think worth mentioning in equipment. You don't need a MacBook, a $2,000 MacBook Pro to do this. You can.
Just to be clear, you do have to download the software. So you do have to do it in the software.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I should have told you that before.
That's good.
So once you sign up for it, they give you a link to download the software. So it does have to be on the machine.
All right. But anyway, it's still not like super heavy.
No, it's not heavy lifting. I'll tell you this, it's no more heavy lifting than what is the GarageBand or something?
Oh, yeah.
What's the video tool from Apple? Final Cut. I don't know what it's called on here.
Or QuickTime,
something like that. So it's no more of a load than what you're currently using. But here's the thing. If you take an hour a week with a content calendar plan, with your cell phone and a lapel mic, and use an editing software like Descript, what you said earlier on the episode, you could literally put out a month or even a year's worth of content in 1 to 2 shoots.
Yeah, one day if you wanted to.
I mean, just one day, and you've knocked it out for at least months at a time, right? I mean, I'm still using the content I shot from a month ago.
Yeah, and so we won't dig too deep into this, but like part of Kevin Lee's presentation, so the night before at like midnight in his hotel room, he cut a video. And he cut it like 10 different ways. And he showed us in Descript and how to do it. He's like, you see this video, I did basically one hard take on, and look how many times I've cut it. And now look how many videos I've created from it.
Right.
So you can literally take 10 minutes of video, chop it up a million different ways, and you have a year's worth of content like that.
You know what we could probably do is drop my hook, line, and sinker So I did a presentation on that as well.
Which is Kevin Lee related.
It is Kevin Lee related, but we could drop that link in here, that Canva link. And if y'all want to, you can go look at that Canva link and you can see how I use Descript. I don't see any reason why we couldn't drop that. So we will drop that in the show notes. Now, here's the most important thing with the video. You have to put it out there. You have to distribute the content on a platform somewhere to somebody.
It does not do you any good sitting on your laptop or your phone. Nobody sees it. Nobody cares.
Correct.
If you put 10, we even have a video company that's come to us before. They say, hey, they spend like 10, 15, 20 grand with us and they just put it on their website and they don't do anything with it.
Right.
And you got to solve that problem. You put all this effort and money into it. Why are you not letting people see it? I mean, it's like, why would you buy a TV commercial spot and not put your actual commercial out?
That's right. I mean, you wouldn't.
Right?
Right.
It'd be a mess.
But now we're in a world today where you can take that one piece of content, you can put the whole piece of content on YouTube. You can chop that video up and use it in spurts on Instagram, Facebook, on TikTok if you want to create some kind of call to action. You can take it and create an advertisement out of it and run paid advertising on any one of these platforms, including YouTube commercials. Use the content across multiple platforms. You can even create it as a blog post on a website. You want to make sure that you're putting your content out there because even if it's an employee related video, or maybe it's a software related, I feel like this is more of a software episode than anything, right? So if it's a software, like getting this content out there is going to increase your value in your community, increase your value to your customers, and it's going to create more opportunity for the people that work for you.
Yeah. Well, and so here's a simple example. So we do webinars, right?
Right.
You actually have one today you have to shoot, which by the time y'all listen.
Get to shoot.
Sorry. I always say that and I always get corrected for it. Anyway, but anyway, all that being said, so today you're taking about an hour or so to do a webinar. Well, that 1 hour video, and it's just you talking. Right. And then we'll bring Marcus in for Google Ads specific. It's Google Ads related. By the time you get this podcast, it's already out there. So if you ask about it, we can send you a link. But we're not done with it, right? It's a webinar. It's an hour recording. It's live. I'm hoping to have people come and watch it and talk to us. Then we start chopping it up, and then we start distributing it other different ways. And that 1 hour video now just became 20 hours worth of different things to use it for, pushing it back out because that's our goal, right? It's not just to talk one time; it's to be repeated out there, and it's good information. And I think you got to connect to people multiple ways. They're not going to watch it the first time it comes in front of their face and their screen. You got to remind them about it, and that's the same for you guys out there that are building video. It's not a one and done thing. There's like we talked about, there's so many different ways to utilize it, and it needs to be repeated because just because I saw it on your website or I saw it loading on your website, but I didn't click on it because that's the thing. And please for love, do not autoplay videos on your website. I want to kill you. Anybody does that. It's the worst thing in the world. You're on your phone. It just starts blaring at you. You're like, what's going on? Please don't do that.
You're in the office.
Yeah, you're like, oh, and then you like click, try to mute it. Anyway, please don't do that. Pet peeve.
That's funny.
But anyway, there you go.
All right. So a couple of things that we want to reiterate. One, make the time to do it. Use the plan. We're going to, if you ask for it, we'll give you a marketing strategy for a whole year's worth of content. Just reach out. Is it hello@urgentcaremarketingpros.com?
It is.
Reach out, ask for it. We're happy to send it to you literally no charge. We won't even ask for your email because we'll have it when you email us.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what's the difference, right?
There's no difference. We'll give you a link to it. You can use it for whatever you want. Yeah. It's just a guideline. You're going to customize it for you. This one's customized for us, but at least you get to see how we do it. Yeah. Use the equipment that you already have. Don't let that be a roadblock for you. Descript, I recommend it. You should use it.
And it is descript.com. So DESCRIPT.com. We don't have a referral link or anything or affiliate link. We just love it. Yeah, we're going to suggest it.
We use it. You should too.
Yep.
And then just distribute it across all platforms that you can. That's the episode today.
Very good, guys. All right. Well, thank y'all. I hope y'all are enjoying the interviews because, like, holy cow, a bunch of them came at one time. Right. We apologize. That's just the way it kind of came. But there's a couple, like the one that's already aired, talking about some software stuff. Please go back and listen to those. Like, they're really good stuff. And if you have somebody, hey, they would be great on your show, please reach out to us at hello@urgentcaremarketingpros.com. And let us know. We love connecting and bringing people on it because they bring different viewpoints to stuff. And that's what we're all about, is to help the community, not just us talking. So,
If you like what we're doing and you enjoy this podcast, please consider leaving us a review on Apple or Anchor or wherever you leave reviews.
Or please comment on our YouTube page. Like when you put a comment out, that helps. We've noticed an uptick in YouTube views. So the more times you guys comment, the better.
And remember, what you do in your community is making a difference. So go out and crush it every single day. We appreciate you listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.
See you guys.
Thanks.